Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
With the fight between Anthony Joshua, who is the IBO, IBF and Super WBA heavyweight champion of the world, and Joseph Parker, who is the WBO heavyweight champion of the world, where these guys will be fighting for a unification fight, in a huge fight, at the Principality Stadium, Cardiff, Wales, like I said, 31st of March. Rob McCracken has given us what he believes is Anthony Joshua's optimum weight in order to face Joseph Parker in the case it was to go down the straight, as in if it was to clock up a few miles, if you like, go a few rounds. Now, we have seen Anthony Joshua gas out on a couple of occasions, most notably against Vladimir Klitschko and Dillian Whyte, you could argue as well, and that kind of thing. Now, Rob McCracken, who is Anthony Joshua's trainer, has said this: in an ideal world, AJ will come in at around 17 stone 9, 17 stone 10. We'll work out an optimum weight for him, but at the moment my feeling, and his feeling, is 17 stone 9 or 17 stone 10. We'll see how he feels doing the sparring, doing the longer rounds, and we'll work out an optimum weight for him. That was Rob McCracken's statement. I mean, okay, so for those who don't understand the stone, the metrics of that, it's actually 247 pounds, 248 pounds. So that would be, what, 6 or 7 pounds lighter than what he came in against Takam. Now, of course, we know why he weighed a bit heavier against Takam. That's because he was preparing for Pulev, and he knew Pulev wasn't going to be running around too much because he can't. He's not that fast. So Anthony Joshua wouldn't have to do any kind of marathon sprints in order to catch up with Pulev all night. Takam is a lot faster on his feet and obviously a lot faster on his hands. So his ideal weight against Carlos Takam was way wrong. So he came in at 254, I believe that was. Against Vladimir Klitschko, again, he was pretty heavy, and of course we've seen him gas out. And that was at the end of round number 5, after he knocked down Klitschko. Obviously he was jumping around, celebrating a bit, and puffed himself out. Round number 6 proved dividends to that when Vladimir Klitschko dropped him. And for a couple of rounds after that, Anthony Joshua was on the back foot, pretty much defending himself because he didn't have the energy. So he was trying to claw back some air into his lungs, if you like. But, I mean, ultimately he did it, and he got the victory in the end, of course. So, big props. Now, for me, okay, I'm not an expert on this kind of thing at all. But for me, I would rather he come in a bit lighter than 247. For me, I would prefer if he come in like, I don't know, 235, 240. Now, would that be too much of a drain for him? Maybe, because he's used to walking around with heavy muscle. But for me, I think Joseph Parker is one of those guys where if you just lose, 6 or 7 pounds from Takam to Joseph Parker, you're not really going to notice it. So for me, an extra few pounds on top of that would be ideal. So for me, I mean, 240. Let's say 240 for me would be an ideal weight for Anthony Joshua. He will still have his power and not so heavy, so he can be a bit lighter on his toes and move around the ring quite a bit, because that's what Joseph Parker is planning on doing. You know this. We know Joseph Parker, very quick on his feet, very fast hands. So Joshua needs to be on the back foot at times, and of course the front foot, trying to cut off the ring with him. So for me, 240 is the optimum weight. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this at all. Rob McCracken would eat me for breakfast with any kind of stats to do with boxing, of course. But of course, he could just be saying this in order to give Team Parker a little bit of, well, okay, so he's not really going to lose that much weight. So yeah, you know what, we could really make Joshua work. So for me, I think Joseph Parker is going to come in a lot lighter and plans on running rings around Anthony Joshua in order to tire him out. And this kind of news here is music to the ears of Joseph Parker. That's just my thoughts on that one anyway. But I think, for me, 240 pounds. You drop your thoughts below as to what kind of weight do you think Joshua should come in at against Joseph Parker, bearing in mind what happened against Klitschko. I mean, against Takam, he did okay. He did slow down a bit, but he wasn't noticeably gassed, that's for sure. But again, with Joshua, It's about the fact that he gets hit as well. When he does get hit, it does take some energy out of him. We've seen that with Dillian Whyte as well. So, which of course was in the earlier rounds. But against Joseph Parker, like I said, he's going to be planning on moving, really moving in that ring. And Joshua needs to be on his toes to keep up with him if necessary. Or play it smart. Just stand in the middle of the ring and don't chase him around. It's simple. You want to fight, you come to me. So, again, we'll have to wait and see what his tactics are. Hopefully he weighs a bit less than 17 stone 9. Hopefully. But anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.